Hey, welcome back. We have got the holidays right around the corner, so I wanted to share with you my top strategies that helps me feel calm and in control over the holidays so that I can really enjoy what I'm really eating, but not feel like I'm overstuffed and full of guilt and then have to go into that reactionary exercise and restriction after the holidays. This really changed everything. I didn't have to change the holidays. I didn't have to change what I was eating or the food around me. I just had to change the way that I was thinking and my strategic approach. And this helped me so much because, gosh, I love my family. I love the holidays. But in the past, I would go into the holidays feeling like I was bracing for catastrophe. Like, oh no, I hate the holidays because I know I'm going to overeat. I know I'm going to feel terrible and guilty after. It's going to wreck my goals. And so, yeah, I love the holidays, but at the same time, I also kind of resented the holidays too. And that really sucks. I didn't want to go into the holidays feeling like I was bracing for catastrophe and then resenting them after. I put in a lot of work to look at these holidays. The holidays are really kind of like an amplified experience of our relationship with food. It's just that we have more of these triggers all around us, which gives us more of an amplified experience of our relationship with food and more opportunities to practice. You don't have to panic. You don't have to freak out. See this truly as an opportunity to get to practice some of the skills that I'm going to share with you today. For me, I had to understand what the skill was and then just practice it again and again until I built my confidence. Now it feels very natural. So, on the flip side, now I can go into the holidays, I can indulge, I can have desserts, and I can feel totally present and calm, knowing that when I go into the holidays, I'm going to be able to indulge and honor my body without going into a panic or a downward spiral and losing control and then feeling like I have to then go into this reactionary, now the holidays are done, I have to fast and work out hard. I don't have to do any of that anymore. Everything feels steady and peaceful, and I really can trust myself. And to me, there's no better feeling than that calm sense of peace of trusting ourselves. So these are my top strategies. I hope that it helps you. It took me a long time to figure out, but for me, it made a big difference. What I really believe is that it's not about getting rid of the food or controlling it more or trying harder. It's about shifting our strategy and the way that we relate to it. So here's my four strategies. I got my notes right here because I'll forget. Okay, so strategy number one is the day of that you go into your holiday, don't go into it starving. I repeat, don't try to force yourself to not eat all day so that you can enjoy your dinner and your meal and totally indulge later. And I'll tell you why. This is really going to set you up this one mindset. The reason why is because if you are under eating and saving up those calories for the evening, you're putting your body into that state of survival. And so as soon as you get around food again, you know that you're going to lose all sense of control, all sense of willpower. It's going to be out the door because you have this low blood sugar all day long. So if you want to set the stage to not be able to trust yourself, that is a for sure guaranteed way to do it. I used to have this mindset that I'm just going to save up my calories for later in the evening because there's going to be so much good food around. So I would skip breakfast. Sometimes I would even work out the day of, maybe drink coffee and try to eat as low calorie as possible to save my calories for later on. But it actually ended up backfiring. And what it would end up happening is as soon as I would get in front of the appetizers, I was so hungry. And that's where I was like, pretzels, chips, dips, everything. And it was because I put myself in that safety response. So, rule number one is don't deprive yourself all day. Treat it as though it's a normal day, and this is going to help stabilize your blood sugar and help you feel calm and in control. I like to have a good, healthy breakfast. So maybe I'm going to eat on the healthier side, but before I go into Thanksgiving, I might make some eggs with some veggies and have like a healthy omelet and some good proteins to keep me full and my blood sugar stable. So as I'm going into the day, I'm not in that irrational survival low blood sugar response. So that's number one. If you have that mindset of I'm going to save my calories for later, know that you're setting yourself up to lose trust and you're going to end up losing control later on. Okay, number two is you want to practice pausing. Pausing is really the only tool that you need. Pausing gives you a chance to really be in choice. The entire reason people veer off from the holidays is because of mindlessness. They're not paying attention. Mindfulness is slowing down and paying attention. Mindfulness is the whole skill set that I developed to really be able to get healthier without needing a diet, without like being at war with my food anymore. Mindfulness is about paying attention and really slowing down. So, using the practice of pausing helped me a ton because here's the truth. It's not that one piece of pie that's going to wreck our whole health. Because you decided to have a piece of pie and indulge in a Christmas dessert doesn't mean it's going to wreck all of your health. Go for the pie. What really messes us up is when we're at work or when we're at the buffet or at the dinner table and there's like snacks, there's like chips and dips and there's pretzels and there's crackers and there's M&Ms. It's those mindless things, the ones that are sneaky that end up throwing us off. And they're so sneaky because they seem so harmless. I don't like the word harm or harmless, but like they seem so insignificant. That's what I'm trying to say. They seem so insignificant. And so we're grabbing them and grabbing them. And those end up being the things that add up to more than a piece of pie. And the bummer about that is that those are the things that we don't even remember or typically don't even care about. We probably could have been perfectly fine skipping the pretzels, skipping the dip. It's like, sure, if you need a snack, it's fine. But like, did it really make the experience of your holiday and something that you really wanted? So just practicing that pause, pausing and saying, do I actually want this food right now? Will this really add to my moment, to my experience? If your answer is yes, practice it with intention. Okay, I'm going to have this and see if that really hit the spot. 9 times out of 10, there's going to be things that you're like, I actually don't want that. I don't even care about it. The only reason why I overate it last year is because I wasn't paying attention. So practice using the pause. The pause helped me so much to just pause and say, wait a second, do I even really want that food? Okay. The pause is so powerful. Okay, so the next one is you want to get rid of fear. Fear is one of the worst emotions that drives us to do things very unnaturally that are not in alignment with our desires. So, what does fear look like? Fear looks like, oh, I'm going to eat this because it's my last chance. Because after Christmas, I won't have it. Because after Thanksgiving, I won't have it. We never want to make a food choice out of fear or scarcity. And the reason why is when you say, I won't get to have this food, you're giving away your power to food. I'm giving up my power to food because I can't have you. If you think about like somebody who's like, "Oh, I want to date you. I want you and I can't have you." And it's like you're giving away your power. We don't want to do that with food. Where we take back our power is to let go of any fear or scarcity energy. We pull our power back inward by saying, truly and feeling it in ourselves and our bodies, I can have this anytime I want. And just because it's Christmas, this isn't the last time I'm going to indulge. So if you are setting yourself up with the mindset that after Christmas, you're not going to indulge anymore, guess what? That's not true because we, as human beings, we like desserts. We like, as soon as Christmas is done, then you have the holiday, then you have whatever comes up next year, a birthday, an Easter, a family get together. Desserts are everywhere, and it doesn't mean that we can't make healthy choices, but to say, "Oh no, this is my last chance because I won't get to have it in the future," you're putting this scarcity, fear energy in yourself, and you're losing your power to food. So you want to reclaim that power back within you by saying, "I can have it when I want." And then you also reclaim your power by saying, "Do I want this food? Do I want to choose this food?" Now you're making decisions not from a fear scarcity place. You're pulling your attention back inward to you and saying, do I actually even want this? That's when you start to take your power back. You start to feel in your body, actually, you might feel, I do actually really want to have some pie or some cake. And with that level of connection, you might start eating the food and really enjoying it. Or you might say, when there's no fear and I can have it again next week or another time, I actually don't want it right now. I feel good. I feel content. So when you let go of the fear, you really pull back your own energy. So look out for that mindset of, well, I'm eating this because it's Thanksgiving or because it's Christmas or because of any other reason other than you are pulling in your own energy and saying, do I want this? The answer might be yes, but it's coming from a much more powerful, connected place. And that brings me to the last strategy. Pay attention to your body, not your mind. Your mind is going to say things like, I should, I shouldn't, how many calories? Like you're going to be up in your mind swirling on right and wrong. And the reason why it can feel like such a tug of war when you're in your mind is because you're battling cravings and you're so disconnected from your body. If you can practice bringing your attention from your mind and you bring it down into your body, you'll start to feel when you actually get too full. And we have all of these moments layered on that's going to help with this. The first thing is you're not starving. You're not going into the experience with low blood sugar. So you're going to feel better about being in tune with your body. The next thing is that you will have paused before making food choices. So you won't have all those chips and mindless things that you don't really actually need. The third is that you don't have any fear inside of you. I'm eating this because this is my last chance. And so finally, when you're in connection with your body, you don't have any of that clouding your judgment, getting in the way. Instead, you're just feeling, okay, how do I feel? Am I hungry? Am I full? Am I starting to get to that point where I've ate too much to where I'm starting to feel sick? Now, when your attention is in your mind and you're living in cravings, that's when you override the signal. That's when you'll start eating until you feel absolutely so sick and so nauseous. That's because you were having your attention up here. But when your attention is down here, you get more sensitive to it. And then it's like, well, there's no fear. I can eat this anytime I want. And yeah, you might still eat a little too much. You might overeat. That's okay. It's not about like always perfectly honoring how much food that you need, but it's going to be so much more easy than if you're in your mind battling, no, I shouldn't, I should stop. When your attention is down here, you'll start to feel it and be more sensitive to it. Now, having your attention in your body, I don't know how easy or difficult this will be for you. I usually have my Mastering Mindfulness students practice this over the course of a few months. So if it doesn't feel supernatural, just see it as a practice. The number one thing is try not to take these strategies too seriously. Don't panic. See this as practice. A lot of people see the holidays as, oh no, this is something that I'm dreading. This is where I have to face my temptations, face my struggles. And I used to feel that too. So I totally understand. This isn't about getting rid of the struggle. Let yourself struggle a little bit. And I don't mean struggle in that it has to be hard, but let yourself have this opportunity to practice. See this as I'm going to be around all of these temptations everywhere. What if I gave myself permission to practice saying, would this honor my body right now? Would this honor me in my body right now? Do I want this? Practice getting really clear on your yeses and your nos, and that can be fun and empowering. Oh, it might feel good to say, nope, I don't want that. Okay, this, yes, I do want this. And I'm going to practice eating it slowly and connected to my body. It's not going to look perfect. I had to practice this like after a couple of holidays in a row before it became natural and easy. I have a lot of students in Mastering Mindfulness practice listening to their body and tuning into their body and getting rid of that scarcity fear mindset over a while. But these are the strategies that if you practice them, you will build more confidence. You will. But it takes a little bit of a willingness to say, okay, I'm going to be intentional. I'm going to practice this. And the joy on the other side of not going into holidays bracing for catastrophe is so worth it. To me, like I feel emotional inside when I feel how hard my holidays were and how hard on myself I was and how much energy I spent thinking about food and thinking about my body. And like I used so much energy that could have gone towards something else, just being where I am now, which is a lot of freedom. And I love the word freedom because it took such a weight off of my mind. And to be able to indulge and enjoy the holidays without going into a panic or without feeling awful and then having to like over exercise and restrict my food to try to make up for it the next day. I don't do any of that anymore. Everything feels steady, it feels calm. I enjoy things. My boyfriend and I had ice cream together last night, and it felt really good to be able to eat some of the ice cream, but not have any of that fear and scarcity of this is the last time I'm going to eat it. And so I didn't need to overindulge. I didn't need to binge on it until I was sick like I used to. I thought that the end goal was to finally have more willpower against it and get rid of food and control it. And that wasn't it at all. What I actually ended up getting was so much better, which was being able to indulge, be able to honor my body, to feel at peace with it. And anyone can do this, but it's about taking the right approach and the right strategy. It's not about controlling our food, it's about having the right strategy and really being in touch with our bodies. And that's what builds our strength, not through control, but through connection with ourselves. I hope you found this helpful. I would love to hear what resonates. Feel free to leave a comment or a question below. This is the kind of stuff we do in Mastering Mindfulness. We're going to be starting up again in January. If you're interested in joining us, I love taking my students through feeling confident with their bodies. Anyone can do it. You don't have to be afraid of failing. It's all about using the right skills to practice rebuilding your own self-trust. It's so beautiful. It changed my life. So if you really want to rebuild that confidence in the food choices that you make and being able to indulge without losing control and really having a healthy lifestyle that feels steady, that feels peaceful, check out masteringmindfulness.institute where you can apply. We're going to be starting up in January. And I hope you found these holiday strategies helpful. Feel free to leave me a comment or a message. I would love to hear what you think. I'll see you guys next time.